This video is specifically geared towards a very specific type of guy that I know watches this channel and content like this. So if you're a guy that has been learning how to talk to women for a while, you've been trying to figure it out, and you've gotten either some results that have been like very inconsistent, like really good, really big highs, really low lows, or you're just a guy that like never really figured it out and you're trying like every day, you're trying so hard, I want to tell you the mindset that's holding you back. Before I get into it, if you don't know who I am, I'm Timothy Brazil. I'm the owner and founder of Understanding Attraction, and it's my goal to turn you into a man that is attractive to women for the rest of his life, okay? And I want to talk about this mindset today of like little boy syndrome, okay? LBS, that's what I'm gonna call it. And what little boy syndrome is you know the big boy goals you want, you know the adult goals you want, you know the grown man big dick goals you have, but your mindset around getting those goals and reaching those is the same as like a little kid. So whenever you're a kid and you're like, I want to be an astronaut when I grow up, you don't think about like, okay, I'm gonna study, I'm gonna learn about science, I'm gonna learn math, I'm gonna learn, like, I'm gonna be physically in shape so I can like go to space and shit. Like, you don't think about that. You don't think about the fact that you need to be a scientist. You think about the fact that you want to be famous for going to space. You want to be this cool guy that went to space when he's like 25, 30, whatever. That's what you're thinking. And that is how you're thinking about dating. You're thinking about how great it would be to have all these women in your life. You're thinking about how great it would be if women would just start liking you and just give you a chance. You're thinking, I'm already a complete guy. I basically have nothing to fix or change. I just want to live the life I'm living, and I want women to like me for living that life. And I want unconditional love from women. I want to feel totally loved just for who I am, without trying to change, without trying to be a better man. That's what your thinking is. And it's just little boy thinking, all right? Why would a woman love you unconditionally? It's a hard question, but wouldn't you want the person you're with to have standards? Wouldn't them having standards imply that they're a high value person? And this is really the first thing that's going wrong, is you're not thinking about the human aspect of women. Like, you're not thinking about them as people. You're thinking about them as like a thing you want, like an achievement to have. And I'm not gonna make this some like woke video. It's just the facts. You know, you're probably watching porn more than you should. If you're watching it at all, you're watching it more than you should. You know, you're doing all these things that feed in to objectifying women. So like, you know, following a bunch of fitness models on Instagram, liking all their pictures, sending them DMs, subscribing to their OnlyFans, you know, going on Pornhub every night, rubbing one out, watching these compilations of like 50 different women get banged by the same guy. And that is a problem. That's a big issue, because it's making you detach the result, like the reward of intimacy with a woman, from any sort of hard work, any sort of actual change. I was just having a conversation with a guy today over Messenger. That's kind of where I do all my coaching and like my sales and stuff for my coaching. And this guy, he's been following my content for over a year, and he just kept giving me these little boy excuses. And he was the reason that I wanted to make this video, because there's so many of you that are stuck in this mindset of like, you know, you've just lived in delusion. You haven't realized like, okay, women want men. Like, I need to grow up and be a man. I need to be a man that takes responsibility. I need to do things that like delay gratification. I need to set higher standards for myself. And so I'm gonna talk about like basically just some little dick energy that's just like, it's so small. And this is all stuff that I've engaged in the past. So I'm by no means am I like shitting on you for this, but this is just small dick thinking. This is something, I mean, all of these things are things I've thought in the past, especially when it comes to like video games and porn and like all that stuff. So first one, is like, oh, what's wrong with having a little bit of fun? What's wrong with having a little bit of fun? And this one comes up whenever I tell guys to like stop drinking, and I tell guys to stop watching porn, and I tell guys to like stop doing all this stuff that's literally killing you. It's literally killing your soul. Like, I tell you to do that stuff, and then, you know, the immediate response from this little boy side of your brain is like, oh, but what's wrong with a little bit of fun though? Well, I can't do anything? Oh, you're like my mom. Oh. And it's like, it's almost this little boy energy of like, you're not thinking about the problems that come with success. Because I'm just the messenger. I'm just telling you the problems that come with success. Like, one of the problems that comes with being successful with women is not watching porn. That's one of the problems. You know, one of the problems that comes with not watching porn is delaying gratification. Like, one of the problems that comes with being attractive to women is just being a guy that's disciplined and like focused on building yourself up rather than like just living through the day. Like, those are the problems that come with success. I'm not telling you that you have to do it. It's just, I'm telling you what the problems are. So this is from The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson, but you want to be picking the problems that you have every single day. You want to be picking the problems you want to deal with for the rest of your life. So like for me, I would rather deal with the problems that come with being disciplined and being focused and making a lot of money and having a lot of women and just being successful as a man, feeling powerful, than the problems that come from like delaying or giving in to instant gratification all the time, like watching porn, which is like depression and a feeling of purposelessness and just like basically feeling like shit about myself. I would rather deal with the problems of like feeling really stressed because I'm delaying gratification, feeling really feeling weak because I'm challenging myself so much that I feel like I can't handle it, and then just doing it anyway. I'd rather deal with the problem of like, I feel low energy today, but I'm gonna go to the gym anyway. Like, I'd rather deal with that stuff than feel depressed, anxious, purposeless in my life. Like, I just would. And in the long run, it'll lead to a better life. In the short run, it'll lead to a more boring life. But I'm okay with that problem. I'm really okay with that. And so you need to be okay with it too, or else you'll just live like a little boy and you'll get treated like a little boy. Okay? So that's the first thing. The second one that comes up is like, guys will say things like, oh, but women, wait, so women can be feminine all they want and I can't be feminine? Yeah. It's because women being feminine, that gives them meaning, gives them purpose. Like when women lean into their femininity, it's like they're like super fun and sweet to be around and caring and like amazing. When we lean into our femininity, we get into dumb fights, we get into dumb arguments, we stay home and watch porn instead of go out and talk to real people. We do all this like reactive bullshit. We become weak men, we become little boys, right? We become these little kids. That's how we act when we're feminine. So yeah, that is how it works. And women can't lean into their feminine energy without masculine energy around them, because someone has to get shit done. Someone has to go out there and challenge themselves. And so you're seeing all these mothers that are single that don't have, they don't have fathers there to help them, and they're being the masculine ones. They're capable of that. It just they don't like it. They don't want to do that. So they're gonna do what they can to find that masculine energy because they need it, right? It's literally just polarity. It's a beautiful thing. But acting like a victim, like, oh no, I'm so unlucky to be a man because I have to be masculine. It's like, yeah, bro, you're gonna feel like that for about 3 months, maybe honestly, probably like a month. And then you're gonna be so fucking glad you're a man. You're gonna be so glad you can challenge yourself and push yourself and you have this natural drive and ambition. You're gonna be so glad you have testosterone in your veins that makes you feel strong and powerful because you've been going to the gym for a while. You're gonna feel so purposeful once you start taking action. Like, I'm so grateful I'm a man now. I used to not be, but now I am, because I've leaned into my masculinity for long enough. I'm like seeing the beauty in it. I'm seeing how natural it is. How many of you are living lives of mediocrity where you're just accepting good enough as like, this is the standard? The standard I set myself for is survival. Why is that your standard? Out of all the great men that have ever lived, no great man has ever set his standard at survival. It's just not the case. No man that's ever attracted a lot of women and been a leader of other men, no man like that has ever set his standard at survival. You have to set your standards higher. And if that sounds difficult, it is. It is supposed to be difficult. Like this movement I'm trying to create is not for the faint of heart. This is not for weak-minded men. This is for men that want more. This is for men that want to have greater purpose in their lives. I'm not here to tell you like, oh man, it'll be okay, you can just say this line and then you don't have to be a fucking man. No. If you say the lines I tell you in like other videos, if you say those lines to women, like she's gonna treat you like a little boy that said the line. She's not gonna treat you like a man. So you need to be a man first. I literally have worked with people, with men that have gone through pickup artist boot camps, paid tens of thousands of dollars for different coaching. And all of these pickup artists just teach them lines, teach them structures. And they take those structures and eventually it falls apart because they're not disciplined. They're not focused. They have no vision for their lives. They don't have any sort of long-term actual like results that they can get, right? They're not getting long-term results. They're just putting a Band-Aid on it, right? They're doing all these massive approaches and they're getting rid of their approach anxiety. But then if you take a week off because you're working, the approach anxiety comes back. I wonder why. I wonder why as a man, you would feel anxious approaching a woman. Maybe because you're not a man. Maybe because you know deep down that women want men. So you're rejecting yourself before you even go in because you don't feel like a fucking man. So naturally, the best way to get rid of approach anxiety and to get rid of fear of rejection is to build yourself into a man. That's obviously gonna be the answer. And so that's really what I say to the guys that get butthurt at women, that get butthurt at the fact that, oh man, I have to be strong. Why do I have to be strong? I'm the victim. Dude, you get to be strong. You get to be strong and masculine. That's fucking badass. I love that. I love that I get to be strong and masculine. I love it. So, the third little boy belief that I have for you today that you can cut out basically instantly is the belief that you have it figured out. The belief that there's an easy way out of this. That belief is gonna kill you. The belief that there is an easy way to be the man that you want to be, that there's an easy way to attract your dream girl, that there's an easy way to have women en masse coming up to you and wanting to talk to you. Like, those beliefs, those are fucking you. Those beliefs are absolutely screwing you because there is no easy way. I know it's cliche, but if there was an easy way to get the dating life that you really wanted, you would have gotten it by now. Here are the facts. If you don't have women chasing you consistently, you have not tapped into your masculinity fully. I don't care what your ego tells you. You need women chasing you consistently en masse to actually be like fully tapped into your masculinity. Because men are so weak today. Men are so fucking weak today that any amount of masculinity will get some results. And the men that have truly tapped into their masculinity, that have the 4 pillars of masculinity on point, you know, they have their focus, their body, their finances, their communication all on point. Those men get all the women. Those men are rewarded. Strong men are rewarded. Weak men, little boys, are not. They're the followers. They're the followers in the tribe. They're the bitches that don't get to reproduce. Natural selection exists. Survival of the fittest. That's how life works. Just because we have a society right now that is functioning, just because of that, doesn't mean you are guaranteed the right to reproduce. Okay? It's not what that means. You don't get to reproduce for free. You need to put in work, especially if you want your genes passed on with a good mother, with a high quality woman. If you want your kids to have the best genes possible, then you got to put in the fucking work. There is no easy way around this. This is a 5 to 10 year transformation. Like the guys that come into my coaching, They get an 8-week springboard into that, and it shaves off like 2-3 years of that journey, but it's still a long journey. It's still a long and focused journey. And that's why I'm building this movement, because in the long run, this business, this company, this movement is going to be something that men use for the rest of their lives. Because maximizing and tapping into your masculinity every day and improving yourself is a fundamental need for all men, and it's missing in the marketplace. I'm not here for guys that want an easy way out. I'm not here for that, because if you want an easy way out, just watch the next 5 years of your life go by. Nothing changes. You can say all the things like, I don't want to be a man then. Okay, you'll get treated like a boy. That's how it is. So like the video if you liked it, comment, subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.